and Comics. I'm JoJo, and my goodness, it's been 2 years, since I've done a comic review on my channel. I mean, it's such a shame, but you guys, so much has happened within those 2 years. I kind of got out of comics for a bit there. I had to, just so many life changes happened, and you know, sometimes your hobbies do kind of have to take the back seat when things like that happen. So now I'm getting back into it very gradually and slowly, but here I am. Y'all know I've been going hard with movies, but I want to bring back my comics. My love of comics to this channel is integral for me. So this past month, I had the lovely pleasure of reading Batman: The Long Halloween by Jeff Loeb and art by Tim Sale. Rest in peace, Tim Sale. So I did have Jeff Loeb sign it for me right there. He was such a awesome person to meet. I had been collecting the issues over the past few years, but I haven't finished that run yet. I did read a couple of the issues prior to reading this, but I didn't know how the story ended or anything. So right off the bat, I really felt like this could have been a continuation, or at least like a spiritual sequel to Miller's Year One. And I felt that for a variety of reasons, but mainly the storytelling itself. I felt like Jeff Loeb really utilized what like Miller had done in Year One with the showing of the progression of time and how our characters evolved over that time gradually because of, you know, the repercussions of having to deal with Gotham's seedy criminal underbelly and how that affected their personal home life. And you've really felt that weight of it all. The story is largely about the Roman, also known as Carmine Falcone, who just happens to be Gotham's most nefarious crime lord, and how his family is being targeted by the Holiday Killer. During each holiday, he is going and killing one of the Falcone family members. In this story, we really get to see that dynamic between Gordon, Batman, and Dent, and how they all kind of work together to try to figure out and crack this case. We have Jim Gordon, who in the story is the captain, and he is ready to handle the situation by the book and working late hours to do so. We have Batman, who's lurking around like usual. It's always what I've loved about Batman. He's not necessarily a rule follower, but he's also wanting and willing to do what's right. At the end of the day, he's not going to kill. He just wants justice to be served properly. And then we have Dent, who goes off the rails in this. He's the DA. He is wanting to solve this case as well, but he's more desperate, it feels like, to do so. He's more aggressive. It's a whodunit, and as the months go by, it almost feels like we're nowhere near being close to figuring out who this killer is. It just keeps raising more questions. There were subplots that were weaving in and out, which I thought were well told, but kind of ambitious for one long story arc. We had Dent, who was kind of turning to the dark side, you could say. You got to see how the whole acid incident to the face went down. He does turn into Two-Face in this. I feel like that could have been its own standalone story, but it did make for a kind of a bloated story there towards the middle, because we're still trying to figure out who this Holiday Killer is. At one point, we're suspecting Falcone's sister, then we're suspecting Maroni and some of his henchmen. Then you got Catwoman. Characters within the story are suspecting Batman, so it's kind of everywhere, like a real whodunit. So the killer turned out to be Falcone's son, and then later we find out that Two-Face was also involved and had a role in the whole thing. Dent's wife had a part in it too. She's also affected by that heaviness of what's happening in Gotham and the way that she has to see her husband deal with it every day, and how she sees him just spiraling, doesn't know what to do, and ultimately succumbs to it as well. A part of me felt like I didn't need to see, you know, Dent's wife kind of be a part of it. But yeah, I understand why that decision was made. And another thing I really loved about the ending was that last showdown where you see a lot of the rogues gallery together and about to take down Falcone. What the heck? That was so cool. I have a picture of it right here of the beautiful panel. So even though it felt a little jumbled and maybe drawn out at times, I do think this pays off tremendously by the end of the story, as it does become a page turner. And I legit did not know who the killer was. So I love that mystery element. Another very notable thing to me was the artwork. I absolutely love this artwork. I feel like it had a very noir-esque type of vibe to it. I don't mean that as in it's black and white, because clearly there's color here. I mean more in terms of the shadows that you see throughout, and Harvey Dent literally with one side of his face in the shadows at times, suggesting that he has that duality and that darkness inside as well. You got a beautiful color palette with the orange and blue kind of complementing each other throughout. Even though it plays throughout the entire year, those colors really give you that cooler autumn feel, which I loved. Tim Sale's artwork also really depicted that contrast between that gritty, grounded in reality type of feel of the human characters versus the fantastical extreme villainy that you see in the Rogues Gallery. The long Joker chin, the long teeth, such a beautiful contrast there that Tim Sale nailed. The other notable thing about the artwork in this was the Godfather reference in one of the panels that depicted Falcone as a mob boss. And as we all know, The Godfather is one of the best gangster flicks of all time. But anyways, guys, that's about it for this review. Again, I loved it. I recommend it to any Batman lover who enjoys that noir kind of feeling, that detective work, that whodunit mystery type of story. This is an excellent read for those that enjoy those things. But anyways, guys, I am out of here. If you like this video, give me a like or subscribe or both. I don't hate it. And you can catch me on Instagram at Flix and Comix. And I guess I'll catch you over there. Later.